in the heart of Europe, where the Welcome to Context 101. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Danube winds through centuries of history. Hungary stands at a crossroads. This nation, long shaped by the push and pull of East and West, is now making headlines for a dramatic shift in its foreign policy. Hungary is making a seismic move, one that is sending ripples across the continent and beyond. Once firmly anchored in the EU and NATO, Hungary now pivots east, seeking not only BRICS membership but also a deeper, more strategic partnership with China and other emerging powers. This is a calculated departure from the Western alliances that have defined its post-Cold War era. This is more than a diplomatic gesture. It's a bold gamble that could reshape Hungary's destiny, challenge the status quo in Europe, and rattle the global order. The world is watching closely as Hungary steps into uncharted territory. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's decision is the result of years of mounting tension with Brussels, fueled by disputes over migration, rule of law, and national sovereignty. For Orbán, this pivot is about reclaiming control and forging a path that puts Hungary's interests first, even if it means defying traditional allies. Hungary's shift is part of a larger global realignment, as Western influence wanes and new alliances emerge. Across the world, countries are reassessing their loyalties and looking for new opportunities in a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. For the EU and the US, this move raises tough questions about unity, security, and the future of the European project. Can the West hold together as new powers rise and old certainties fade? Meanwhile, for everyday Hungarians, this bold leap eastward opens a new, uncertain chapter, one filled with both hope for economic opportunity and anxiety about what lies ahead. In this series, we'll explore the powerful forces behind Hungary's pivot, the policies and personalities driving it, and what this moment means for Hungary, Europe, and the world at large. The die is cast. Budapest's choice will echo far beyond its borders, shaping the future of Europe and the global balance of power. To understand Hungary's pivot, we must revisit its rocky road with the EU. Hungary's 2004 EU accession promised prosperity and stability, but friction grew after Orbán's 2010 return to power. The clash: Brussels' liberal democracy versus Orbán's illiberal, sovereignty-first vision. Disputes over judicial reforms, media freedom, and migration led to Article 7 proceedings and accusations of EU overreach. Despite benefiting from EU funds, Hungary accused Brussels of financial blackmail, fueling a narrative of lost sovereignty. Pragmatism persisted. Hungary joined the EU's Safe Defense Initiative in 2025, but frustration with the EU's constraints deepened. This disillusionment set the stage for Hungary's audacious turn toward BRICS and a world beyond the EU. Hungary's eastward turn is a response to the rise of BRICS and China's global influence. BRICS, once just an acronym, is now a powerful bloc challenging Western dominance and offering alternatives to the IMF and World Bank. Its appeal: respect for sovereignty, non-interference, and economic cooperation, without Western political conditions. China, the bloc's powerhouse, has become a global superpower, weaving influence through the Belt and Road Initiative. For Hungary, BRICS and China offer new investment, leverage, and a chance to diversify away from Western dependence. Hungary's bet: the future is multipolar, and aligning with rising powers is the path to security and growth. Orbán's Hungarian model is the ideological engine behind the pivot. He frames Hungary's future as a choice: his model of sovereignty and stability, or the Brussels model of liberalism and dependency. The Hungarian model emphasizes low taxes, strong family support, and energy price caps, policies Orbán claims protect national interests. In contrast, he paints the Brussels model as a path to debt, lost sovereignty, and unwanted entanglement in EU conflicts. This narrative simplifies complex issues, casting Orbán as the nation's defender against foreign control. The 2026 election is positioned as a referendum on these two models. For Orbán, joining BRICS and partnering with China is the ultimate assertion of Hungary's right to choose its own path. The pivot is not just policy, it's a statement of national identity. Hungary's pivot on the world stage is being realized through a series of sweeping policy changes that are reshaping the nation's future. The government is actively rethinking its approach to both domestic and international affairs, signaling a bold new direction. At the heart of this transformation are new alliances. Hungary's application to join BRICS, a powerful bloc of emerging economies, requires not only a regulatory overhaul, but also a fundamental shift in how Hungary engages with the global economy. This process has led to a wave of new trade agreements, each one signaling a realignment of Hungary's economic priorities. The deepening partnership with China is especially central to this strategy. China's influence is now woven into the fabric of Hungary's economic planning. Chinese investment is rapidly transforming Hungary into a regional manufacturing and technology hub. New industrial parks and tech corridors are springing up, attracting both local and international talent. Battery plants and electric vehicle factories, many financed by Chinese loans, are binding the two economies together in unprecedented ways. These projects are creating jobs, boosting exports, and positioning Hungary as a key player in Europe's green transition. On the home front, the government is introducing tax breaks for families and bonuses for law enforcement, aiming to shore up public support and maintain social stability during this period of rapid change. These measures are designed to ensure that ordinary Hungarians feel the benefits of the country's new direction. Hungary's ambition is to serve as a bridge between East and West, leveraging its memberships in the European Union and NATO, while simultaneously building robust new ties with Eastern powers. This balancing act is both delicate and ambitious. Every diplomatic move is a calculated risk in a high-stakes game, where the rewards could be great, but the consequences of missteps are significant. The government must weigh each decision carefully, navigating between competing interests and shifting alliances. The core of Hungary's strategy is to maintain the benefits of its Western partnerships, while simultaneously securing new opportunities and investments from the East. This realignment is not just about foreign policy, it's also about building domestic resilience, fostering innovation, and ensuring long-term prosperity for the Hungarian people. As Hungary charts this new course, its leaders are betting that a careful blend of tradition and transformation will secure the nation's place in a rapidly changing world. Hungary's economic pivot is a balancing act between EU dependence and Eastern opportunity. The EU, especially Germany, remains Hungary's top trading partner and investor, ties too vital to sever. The goal isn't to replace the West, but to diversify and reduce vulnerability to EU downturns or political pressure. BRICS and China offer new markets and capital, especially for strategic sectors like energy and high-tech manufacturing. Chinese investment in battery production is already making Hungary a European leader in future industries. The vision, Hungary as a logistical and economic hub connecting East and West. Critics warn of new dependencies on China and the risk of neglecting domestic innovation. Success depends on Hungary's ability to walk a tightrope, reaping benefits from both sides without sacrificing sovereignty. Hungary's eastward pivot has deepened domestic divides. Supporters see it as a bold assertion of sovereignty and a break from Brussels' constraints. Many outside Budapest embrace the government's message of national pride and self-determination. Opponents, urban liberals, youth, and opposition parties, fear democratic backsliding and isolation from Europe. The government shapes public opinion through national consultations and a media landscape dominated by pro-government voices. Foreign policy has become a core part of personal and political identity, fueling heated debates across society. To support the pivot is to stand for tradition. To oppose it is to risk being labeled unpatriotic. Hungary's internal cohesion is being tested as never before. Hungary's recent pivot on the global stage has become a fascinating case study for analysts and scholars who are closely tracking the evolution of the New World Order. As the country repositions itself, experts are dissecting every move, searching for clues about the broader shifts in international power dynamics. Many see Hungary's actions as clear evidence that the era of uncontested Western dominance is drawing to a close. Instead, a more complex multipolar world is emerging, one where influence is distributed among a growing number of regional and global players, from the BRICS nations to rising economies in Asia and beyond. Within Europe, Hungary's bold move has sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. EU leaders are increasingly alarmed, fearing that Budapest's defiance could fracture the fragile unity of the bloc and embolden other member states to chart their own independent courses. Some European officials are calling for a tough, uncompromising response to deter further dissent. Others, however, caution that isolating Hungary could backfire, potentially driving it even closer to Eastern powers and deepening divisions within Europe. Security experts are particularly concerned about Hungary's ongoing role within NATO. They warn that Budapest could become a strategic conduit for Chinese and Russian influence, raising questions about the alliance's cohesion and the security of its eastern flank. Yet, in the global south, Hungary's maneuver is often viewed through a different lens. Many see it as a pragmatic strategy, a small nation skillfully maximizing its diplomatic and economic options in a rapidly changing world, rather than simply choosing sides. The recent normalization of ties between China and India further highlights this new era of flexibility, where old rivalries are set aside in favor of practical cooperation and mutual benefit. Ultimately, Hungary's gamble is more than just a national strategy. It's a bellwether for how middle powers everywhere might navigate the unpredictable currents of 21st century great power competition, seeking opportunity amid uncertainty. January 11, 2026, Hungary embarks on its boldest foreign policy shift since 1989. Orbán bets Hungary's future on the East, seeking prosperity and sovereignty in a multipolar world. The risks: alienating the EU, straining NATO ties, and deepening internal divisions. Hungary's story is a mirror for global anxieties and transformations. The EU and US must now confront their own cohesion and relevance. BRICS's rise is a structural shift, not a passing trend. Hungary's journey forces every nation to ask, where do our true interests lie in a changing world?